Hey everybody, welcome back to Double Your Sales Now. Today it's me. I'm going to connect with you and I'm excited to do that. Today I'm sharing Selling with Intention, the mindset and tools you need to double or triple your sales this year. As I was thinking about where to go next with, just everything that's been going on in the world, I thought it's time to go back to basics. It's time to go back to really thinking about how to sell and how to sell with intention. And I want to reach out and I want to thank all of you for your emails that you've been sending, all of your support. I'm grateful that our podcast interviews and shows have been so well received, and we hear you and we appreciate you. And we're sending love out all over the world. We're still, as we record this, in a time of a pandemic, although lots of things are opening up now and everyone's just trying to stay really safe. And also we're in a time of George Floyd's passing. And, as we just had a show with Janice Graham, which was really powerful. If you haven't heard it yet, definitely go back and listen to us as we talk about friendship, connection, and racism. And that was just a really powerful and moving show for me to do with Janice, and to really hold that space and to send our love to people of color all over the world, and to just come from this inclusive space. And you are all part of our family at Sales Coach Now and at the Double Your Sales Now podcast, every single one of you. And we value you so, so much. And we're grateful that you're here. And I know when I say everyone, we have listeners all over the world, and we just love hearing from you. So thank you. Thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for making our community better. And, we are working hard to make our community stronger around the world. So thank you for being part of that. If you haven't yet, definitely go to salescoachnow.com/gift. We have a PDF for you there, 6 Secrets to Doubling Your Sales. It's easy to download. It's a way also for us to stay in touch with you once you get that download, and we'd love to do that and stay in touch with you. And it's just a short PDF to help you stay on track with your sales. Also, if you haven't left us a review yet, we'd love to get a review from you. You can go to salescoachnow.com/giveaway, and we're giving away some cool gifts there related to my book, One Great Goal. So definitely check that out, and we really appreciate all of the reviews. Also, we have a sponsor, which I'm super excited about, and it's a perfect time for this sponsor, and we're excited that they're a part of our community. They're called Real HR Hero, and you can go to realhrhero.com. It is Real HR Hero's mission to improve the employer-employee relationship by reviewing and enhancing HR practices, attracting and retaining quality employees, and mitigating risk. Do you have so much on your plate that the idea of creating or improving HR policies or programs is just a daydream? Yeah, well, Real HR Hero will help you turn those dreams into reality. So they can help you review and leverage the tools you already have, all while ensuring that you're not putting your business at risk with flimsy, inconsistent policies and programs. So it's their service commitment to provide expert-level consultative services that are relevant, comprehensive, and cost-effective. So everything from HR support, recruiting, mentoring services for small to mid-sized businesses, and also working with single person or small HR departments as well. So if you need some support in the HR arena, and I know as we've moved through the pandemic and this time of, people on furlough and people coming back to the offices and how to keep people safe, you might want an HR consultant. So you can retain them hourly and also on project-based services. Reach out to them because you're listening to the podcast, and you will receive a 30-minute free consultation. So thank you, Real HR Hero. Again, just go to realhrhero.com, and you can see where to connect with them there to get your free 30-minute session. We love our sponsors. We're grateful for them. It helps us continue to grow our show. So with that, I invite you to get out a pen and a piece of paper. If you already have a copy of Selling with Intention, definitely follow along. If you don't, not to worry. We're going to hit all the main points in there to help you have the mindset and tools you need to double or triple your sales this year. Now, this is the second edition. There was a first draft, a first edition, and then we call this the second edition of Selling with Intention. And it's been through it's been through a lot of editing and shifting over the years to improve it over time. And I'm excited about the fact that this book is still out there because I wrote it many years ago. The second edition was published back in 2011, and before that it was published in 2005 originally. So it's gone through its iterations and its time. So, but it's still relevant. It's still very relevant. And I think as we're coming through this pandemic and moving forward, a lot of us have forgotten the basics of selling. And I think one of the things that I've been finding is so important is for all of us to give ourselves permission to sell again. And if you've been listening to the podcast, I invite you to thrive, not just survive during this time. Like, why not double or triple your sales again, right? Why not get to that next level? So I'm going to take you through the principles of selling with intention. There are 10 of them. So take out, again, a piece of paper and a pen because you're going to want to take some notes. And I want to take you through this at a high level because some of this you're going to say, Ursula, I've already heard this. I've done that. I've been there. And that's great. The question I want you to ask yourself is this: am I getting the results that I want? Because we can think we know something, but not get results from it because we're not doing it consistently. And that's the key word, consistently. Consistently making follow-up calls, consistently making sales calls, consistently putting time on our calendar. And we'll talk about those things today, okay? So we're gonna go through these. We're gonna go through it pretty quickly, but you're gonna get it. The first principle of selling with intention is to discover how you already sell with intention. When I say sell with intention, what I mean is to choose the result ahead of time. So when you create an intention, right, it's like a mini goal. It's like you're choosing this outcome before you get started. And the word intention became really meaningful to me when I read the book Power of Intention by the now late Dr. Wayne Dyer. And that book changed my life. And I'm sure for a lot of you, that book changed your life. And just that word intention. And so I started to practice intention when I had my first outside sales position. And that was back when I was definitely an accidental salesperson. It was not my plan. And I don't like to use that word, but I really did. I hated everything about selling. It was awful. And that's when I went out and bought every book I could on sales and selling. And then I found the book, Power of Intention, and I started to put these ideas of selling together with being intentional. So all it means, like just to boil it down, is to choose the result ahead of time. So before you pick up the phone, notice your attitude. Notice how you're showing up. Are you intending that the person will answer? Because a lot of times when we pick up the phone, right, we're thinking, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. And then they don't, right? We're much more powerful than we think. So when you have the intention for them to not only answer the phone, but to connect with you, it's amazing what will happen. And then once you have get the appointment, because you call to not only connect with them, you call with the intention to get the appointment. When you meet with them, have the intention to actually close the sale. I think so often we can go into sales meetings and not be prepared, and we just have a great conversation, then we walk out. But we didn't close the sale, right? So have the intention that the sale will also close. Here's the secret with that. When that is your intention, you use different words. You show up in a much different way. You show up more confidently. You show up to solve their problem. And your prospect will feel that connection, right? Your prospect will sense that. So show up with the intention to close the sale. The second principle of selling with intention is to know what you want and how to get it, okay? Now, we could spend a whole lot of time on this one idea. If you haven't read my book, One Great Goal, yet, I recommend you get it. You can get it on Kindle for, I think, $2.99. So it's a great deal. You can also, I think you can get you can get a copy of it if you give us a review. So if you go to salescoachnow.com giveaway, don't do it to just really want to give a review, but you'll receive a copy, an electronic copy that way as well. My whole point is One Great Goal is all about getting clarity on what you want. And often we have so many goals and it's very confusing for us. But it's a simple process to write down your top 10 goals and then choose your top 5 down to your top 3, then your top 2, then your 1. So you can take yourself through that process backwards, right? When you get really clear on what you want, it can start to show up. So often though, we don't write our goals down. In fact, a very small percentage of the population writes their goals down. And yet you are 99% more likely to achieve your goals simply by writing them down. That's pretty powerful. So first, get clear on what you want. Ask yourself that question, write your goals down. And then figure out what your one great goal is. What do you really want? And decide that no matter what, that goal is going to happen. Get all in. I always say, get all in with your goal. Make the decision. The root of the word decide means to close the door on everything else. So get clear, make the decision, get all in. Once you do that, once you're all in and you burn your backup plan, the next step will always show up. Now here's the thing. Unfortunately, the next step is typically something you won't want to do. It'll be outside your comfort zone. You'll have resistance to doing it. And that's when you know it's probably the exact thing you need to do. Most people don't like to hear that. So I'll give you an example, right? You want to grow your sales. Well, you probably have to pick up the phone to connect with people, or most people do, right? If you're in a traditional business, you pick up the phone, you call, you talk to people, you follow up more than 5 times. We'll talk about that, right? But we have a lot of resistance. And my clients will say, you know, Ursula, my phone weighs like 1,000 pounds. Like I'm not sure what to say, because what happens is it brings up all of our self-worth. I am not enough. Who am I? Like the imposter syndrome. Who am I to be selling this product or service, right? Like all of that comes up and we stop. So get clear on your goals, know what you want, make the decision, get all in, and then push through the resistance. Take the next steps that are in front of you. And by the way, if you want help doing that, please join us at Virtual Sales Camp. Because of the pandemic, we still have a phenomenal price point for attending our virtual sales camp. It's going to expire in July. So if you're interested, just email us at contact@salescoachnow.com and you can take the class from anywhere in the world from the comfort of your own home right now. So definitely take advantage of that. We'll help you get clear on what you want, get clear on your numbers, and push through that resistance. And we'd love to support you in that. The third principle of selling with intention. You ready? Be the problem solver. Sounds simple, okay? Here's what happens though. So many of us get stuck in our heads. It's like what I was just sharing. We get stuck in our heads of the fact that we think we have to know everything in the sales process. We think we have to be the perfect salesperson. We think there's some powerful and magical words that are going to like bring this person to just say, yes, here, I'm paying for it. Here's my credit card. But then we're making it all about us. And the truth is, selling isn't about you, and it's not about me. It's about the people we're here to serve. It's about our clients. It's about being the problem solver. And so many of our clients say, Ursula, I don't want to follow up more than 5 times. I don't want to be that pesky salesperson, that pushy salesperson. That's the number one limiting belief I hear. Ursula, I don't want to be the pushy salesperson. And I get it. Remember, I hated selling when I first started. I hated everything about it. But that is what inspired me to keep going, because I thought there must be a better way. And the better way is this. You're a problem solver. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop it. Right? Stop it. We try so hard to be perfect in this and perfect. Stop it. I want you to be an authentic problem solver. That's it. And move away from the limiting belief that you're being pushy if you follow up too many times. Move away from that and move into, I am a professionally persistent problem solver. I am a professionally persistent problem solver. Because when you can lean into that belief, when you can take on that new belief, and you really believe that you're a professionally persistent problem solver, who are you afraid to call? Nobody, right? Like you're not afraid to call anybody. And that one belief is so darn powerful, and it will push you into a different energy, because all of a sudden it's not about you. You're picking up the phone to call someone to solve their problem. You're putting your online program out in the world to solve a problem. You're doing a launch to solve a problem. You're doing a webinar to solve a problem. You're doing a podcast to solve a problem. That's why you're doing it. So be it. Be a professionally persistent problem solver to get you out of the way, because then you can show up and serve at the highest level. The fourth principle, define your target client. Oh, I'm sighing because I know we've all heard this. Who's my ideal client? Who's my target client? Why does that matter? It matters because you have to know who to call, right? And so often we hear people say, everyone is my client. I'd like to help everyone. No, you don't. No, you won't. Like, let's be honest. There are clients who are not a good fit for your business. And I know this because I've been doing it a long time. And what I know is that many of us have had clients who drain our energy, who just aren't a good fit. They're not a good fit for us, but that doesn't mean they're not a good fit for somebody else, right? They could be a blessing for somebody else's business and not be a good fit for yours, and that's okay. So get clear. The other reason why we often don't want to get clear on who our target client is because we have a limiting belief that there's not enough. We have this limiting idea that there's not enough of our top 20% out in the world. It's like, Ursula, okay, well, if I get clear on my top 20% and that's who I decide I'm going to work with, and I'm only going to work with my top 20%, where am I going to find them? There's not enough, right? So we get stuck in that limiting belief. And here's what's not true about that limiting belief. 8 billion people on the planet right now. There's more than enough business for every single person watching this right now or listening to this. There's more than enough business for every single one of us. What you have to do first is to get clear and committed on who your target client is and make the decision that you are all in, that this is my target client. I remember a time in my business when I first started in the beginning, and I was brought in to coach a sales team, and there was a part of me that got this huge red flag as I was sitting in that sales appointment. And there was this other part of me that said, Ursula, you need the business right now. How many of you have been there? Ursula, you need the business. Well, let's just say I learned a very, very valuable lesson. After coaching a sales team for 6 months, that number one, got paid whether or not they sold anything. Number two, didn't want to be coached. Number three, definitely didn't want me to coach them because they didn't want to be held accountable, right? After 6 months of that, I was done. I almost wanted to quit. I almost wanted to shut my company down. It made me hate my job so much, right? Because that's what happens. When you work with clients and prospects who aren't a good fit, they drain you. They make you dislike what you're doing. They make you question everything. And that's what I was doing. I was questioning everything. And I remember reading some books about target clients back then. I was like, Ursula, like I was talking to myself, like you got to make a decision. Like either you're in or you're out. And if you're in, decide that you're only working with your top 20%. Decide that you're only going to work with clients who show up, who are coachable, who love getting to the next level, who have a mindset of like a lifelong learner's mindset, a growth mindset, right? They're always looking for the next thing to grow. Those are my clients. Because guess what? That's me. Your target client shares your values. Your target client is a lot like you. Or if you work with corporations, your target clients that are corporations share your values as well. So I just want to encourage you to start to say no. Refer those prospects who aren't a good fit to somebody else. Somebody else, bless somebody else's business. They're not a fit for you, and that's great. And say yes to your top 20% because there's more than enough. Okay? Principle number 5, the fifth principle of selling with intention, is to create an intentional schedule and actually follow it. When we start working with clients, I guarantee, like this is one of those places that we had a lot of resistance. Because for many of us entrepreneurs and sales professionals, we're free spirits, right? We like to just be out. We like to be out selling and doing our own thing and, being visionaries, and everything else can just forget it. Well, it's great to think about that, but it doesn't really work well because then we don't get the results that we want. So an easy way to think about creating an intentional schedule is to get clear on your sales, your monthly sales stretch goal, okay? Your monthly sales stretch goal, and then how many appointments you need every month, and build your schedule around that. That's a simple, clear way to do it. So I'll give you an example. Easy math for me. Let's say you want to hit 10,000 a month, okay? And your average sale is $1,000. So that means you need 10 sales per month to get to your stretch goal, okay? If your closing ratio is 50%, meaning half the people you meet with become your client, that means then that you need 20 qualified appointments to get there. So I'm just taking 10 times 2, we need 20 qualified appointments. So if I need 20 qualified appointments, right, and I look at my month, so often we look at our month and we think, all right, I have, typically 20 selling days in the month if I'm looking at it 5 days a week, okay? Just averages here. Now, my realtors and others, you may work weekends too, so just figure this out, figure out what works for you. So if I do the math, I need to have, I need to have 5 appointments per week to get to my 20. So then I can think, okay, do I want 1 appointment a day? Do I want 2 appointments on 2 days of the week? Do I want a day with 3 appointments, another day with 2? Figure out where your appointments can go, and then open up appointment times on your calendar. And that's a simple way to build an intentional schedule, because then everything feeds into your calendar. If then you want to supersonic, as my son says, super speed your month and get there faster, simply switch how you think of a month. Rather than thinking you have the whole month to schedule all of your appointments, try to have your 20 appointments scheduled by the 15th of the month. That's one way to help you double your sales quickly, or even triple. And our clients who do that, they start to hit their goals really, really fast, because even if you don't get those 20 appointments in before the 15th, I guarantee you still have time to do it, right? So you're going to get there. So that's just a huge tip to help you get to that next level faster. And I gave you might want to pause and come back and listen to this and do the math again. Figure out how many qualified appointments you need every month. Take the time to figure that out and go with best guesses. There's no perfection here. Some of you are going to get really stuck on the numbers. Don't. Best guesses. And then be conservative. I probably need 20, but maybe let me open up 25 appointments. Shoot over so that you can still get there. Okay? All right. We're doing good. The 6th principle of selling with intention is to develop your system for follow-up. In other words, what's your follow-up system? Statistically, we know that on average, we have to follow up 5 or more times to close an appointment. Now, we find that our clients who've come through sales camp, who have sales training, can shorten that cycle significantly. So that's just an average. But if you don't know, if you're not sure, definitely follow up 5 or more times to see if someone is interested in working with you. What our clients tell us is they are super shocked to find out that when they follow up, their prospects say things to them like, "I'm so glad you followed up. Where have you been? I was just thinking about you. Yes, I'd like to set an appointment with you." Listen, if your prospects reached out, if someone said they're interested in what you have, that is a green light. That means go. That means follow up until you get a yes, a no, or a next step on the calendar. So a clear yes, a clear no, or a next step on the calendar. So for example, you might call and get an appointment with them. So it's on the books. You meet with them. At the end of that appointment, you either get a clear yes, they're buying from you today. A clear no, it's not a fit, it's okay, we can refer them to somebody else. Or the third piece, which you've probably heard me say before if you've been in our circle for a while, get a next step on the calendar. Now that third step is what a lot of people miss. And then you chase sales like they're tumbleweeds going through the desert. Don't do that. A yes, a no, or a next step on the calendar. Now, in that appointment, you don't have to wait 3 weeks for the next step. Schedule that appointment next week. If it's a Friday, schedule it Monday. If you're on a Thursday, schedule it Friday. Ask them how long do you need to figure this out if they have some kind of objection. For example, they might say, "Hey, I have to talk to my business partner. Oops, should have had the business partner in this meeting, but I didn't." So I would ask, so when can you have that conversation with your business partner? Tomorrow. Okay, great. What time tomorrow? 10 o'clock. Great. Let's talk at 11. Great. On the calendar, books, done. Because then you are serving your prospect. Too often people say, "You know what, I'll call you next week," or "Just call me, let me know what you think." They're not going to call you. The day your prospect calls you and says, "Hey, here's my credit card, I'm ready to go. I know you didn't follow up with me. Go buy a lottery ticket because that's a good day." Doesn't happen. Your prospect is constantly judging whether or not they want to do business with you, and they're judging you on how professional you are, on how you follow up. So give them a reason to buy from you. Okay. The seventh principle of selling with intention is educate your partners and clients. And what this means is you're going to educate your partners, your strategic partners, your referral partners, and your clients on how to refer business to you. Sometimes referrals happen naturally. We get referrals from clients and other people, and that's awesome, and I'm sure you do too. And then the next level is to develop a referral system that works in your business. How can you make it easy for people to refer to you? So I'll give you an example. In our business, in my own company, we often offer free webinars. And it's a great way for our referral partners to talk about us, to share information, and it makes them look good because they get to give away a free class to someone. And then that person's happy about that, right? And then that individual can decide whether or not they want to take another step with us. It's up to them, right? But that makes it very easy for our referral partners and our affiliate partners to refer to us. Every business is different. We have clients who are brick and mortar, and they have business cards because they're in a community, right? So it's a different way of referring. So they have, all the other brick and mortars in the area might share business cards with each other. You've seen that, right? So that's another way to support each other. So just make it easy for your referral partners to send you business. That's the question to ask yourself. How can I make it easy? Okay. All right. The eighth principle of selling with intention is to connect with intention. And connecting with intention simply means I, as a sales professional, am going to be a great listener. Selling is not telling. Take the pressure off yourself again. Selling is not telling. Selling is asking powerful, open-ended questions. Okay? So when you connect with intention, you become an active listener. You ask powerful, open-ended questions. You repeat back what your prospect said to you so they feel heard, and you listen. Listening is one of the greatest skills that we can develop as sales professionals, and we don't do it enough because there's all this pressure that we think we have to talk. I want you to listen, especially in this time of the pandemic and just everything that's going on in the world. People have a lot of fear, they're lonely, they're scared, there's a lot of feelings. And so when you can create that space of being a great listener, they will never forget you. So connect with intention, open up, be a great listener. The ninth principle of selling with intention is get the appointment. Now, even if you sell online, if you have a high ticket item, you probably do have conversations, or you invite your prospects to have a conversation with you. It is so important to get an appointment to talk about what you have to offer, separate from just calling someone. So what you don't want to do is just start calling people and trying to sell. What you do want to do is have a powerful sales script, an authentic sales script that checks in and invites someone to have an appointment with you at a separate time. Could be a Zoom appointment, could be in the future an in-person appointment, could be just a simple phone appointment. You're setting up another time to talk so they are in the right mindset to listen, to connect, to understand, to make a decision, right? So get the appointment, okay? And this goes back to what we talked about before. Tie your appointment setting goal to your sales goal. So if you need 25 appointments a month, start to figure out what your numbers are. How many people do you need to call to get one appointment, okay? How many emails do you need to send out if you are doing more online selling to invite someone to an appointment? Just start to really dial in those numbers so you know. But get the appointment so you can have a separate conversation to sell. And that way you have permission, you've opened up the door. It's just a very authentic way to connect. And finally, the 10th principle of selling with intention is to ask for the business. Ask for the sale. It seems super obvious, but I can tell you that this is one place that so many of us stop because we don't want to be perceived as being pushy, okay? So here's some simple tips on how to ask for the sale. Number one, you want to offer people choices. You want to offer your prospect choices. Before that, you want to ask a lot of great open-ended questions around their pain and around their goals and what they want, so you can understand and summarize what they share with you and offer options for them. As humans, we like options. We like to be able to make decisions. So act as that consultant, act as that coach, that partner that asks open-ended, powerful open-ended questions, and then give them a couple choices. No matter what business you're in, right? You might have a proposal where you make 2 to 3 different options for them. You might have 2 to 3 different start dates for them. You could ask, what form of payment they would like to give you, but you have to ask those closing questions. If you don't ask, they can't say yes, they can't become your client. And also, just because you get an objection doesn't mean they don't want what you have. So if you ask a closing question, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not even sure, I don't even know how I'm going to pay for this, right? How would I pay for this? Like, if that's their objection, that is a buying sign. That is someone saying, I want this, I'm not sure how to pay for it. And then you can simply coach them through the different ways that you can help them. You could say, well, we take, all of these different kinds of payment, or we do have payment plans available. Maybe you even have financing plans available. So just help them through that process by asking questions, being supportive, being very authentic so that they can buy from you and you can solve their problem, right? At the end of the day, if someone wants what you have, if they really want it, the money will show up for them. It's got to be out there somewhere. And so support them in figuring it out. Awesome. I want to thank you for being here today on this journey of selling with intention. I hope it was valuable, and definitely go back, listen to some of the exercises that I took you through again to get really clear on how you can double or triple your sales as we continue to move forward. Again, thank you to all our listeners all over the world. If you haven't yet, go to salescoachnow.com/giveaway. Leave us a review, and we have some special One Great Goal gifts for you. And also go to salescoachnow.com/gift to receive our 6 secrets to doubling your sales now. And finally, if you want to attend virtual sales camp from the comfort of your office or your home, we would love to have you join us. And we do have a special economic relief price point that's good through the middle of July. So actually maybe July 10th. So email us at contact@salescoachnow.com. We have a few seats left in June, a few seats in July that are available, and some seats in August as well. And we'd love to support you. We'd love to have you come out and join us at Virtual Sales Camp. All right, everybody, that's it for now. Make this your best month yet.